Oh, and you know why you gotta be paused, Robbie? Because, yeah, we're doing this. FHM, we're back. Damn it. The day before a ridiculous off-season scenario begins. That is what we're looking at. Get that random synthwave in there. Like we'd love to have. Because it's what we need. With that, so again, we are facing a pretty big off-season here. We made the playoffs in our very first season. And then blew it. We got swept. We got Winnipegged in the playoffs, but we are set up incredibly well here. Could do a lot of wheeling and dealing in the offseason. Our biggest issue is that we have some contracts that are going to be up. And we need to try and re-sign some people. First and foremost, we need to open up negotiations with Alex Radulov, who at 35 years old wants $6 million. Huh. $6 million for Radulov, huh? Right. I don't know if we want to do that. I mean, he's 35. And in terms... I mean, he did just have a great season. He had 79 points. Correction. He had 84 points in 78 games. I mean, do we want to have him be our Joe Pavelski? He had an incredible season. Who won the Cup this past season? The Anaheim Ducks as the 8th seed. The LA Kings did. I mean, offensively, he's still great. But I'm worried about Radulov slowing down. The defensive ratings aren't there. We'll have to come back to that. We can't prioritize him. We also have Nick Leddy. Let's take a look at one Nick Leddy. 30 points in 79 games this past season. I mean, a good power play specialist in terms of like, the passing and the puck handling. Good, really good skating ability. Not that physical. But as a mobile defenseman, pretty damn solid. Nick, what exactly are you going to be looking for here in a contract? That is the real question. Whoo! $7 million. We're going to be losing the majority of this team that we put together. Now, we didn't have to give up much to get this team. But yeah, we are, we're going to have a rough time. Leddy wants money. Crystal Tang is 35. Put up 9 points in 16 games with us. Was a minus player. Major injury concerns with Letang at this stage. Still, a solid mobile defenseman, though. Contract-wise. $7 million for Crystal Tang. Okay, Jesus. Well, obviously, we'd rather go for Nick Leddy than Crystal Tang. We can't offer Crystal Tang $7 million over the next 2 years. We just can't do it. That is... For a 35-year-old defenseman, that is way too much of a risk, especially with his injury histories. So yeah, Crystal Tang, we can pretty much confirm is gone. Oh boy. Matthias Ekholm, who we took in the expansion draft rather than UC Saros. 45 points this season in 78 games. 5 years at 32 years old, nearly $7 million with a no movement clause. Us getting swept in the first round is really going to come back to haunt me. Andy Andreoff are obviously going to drop. Scott Harrington wasn't that bad. Scott Harrington only wants a little bit under 2. That's not that bad. We could bring Harrington back. He overperformed this year, though, for being honest. Like, his defensive grades were really nice. Didn't mean to hit game by game. Can't see it here, but like defensively as a stay-at-home defenseman, he's solid. He performed well this year, but that might be a little bit too much money to commit. The big guy that we have to lock down is Morgan Rielly. 76 points in 80 games this year as a defenseman. But he wants $9.5 million. We have to decide if $9.5 million on Morgan Rielly is the way we want to go. Radulov, we already know what he was looking for. Johan Larsson put up 26 points in 78 games, but he was a tremendous physical option. $4 million bucks for a middle six forward. I can't pay Johan Larsson that. I can't do it. Like, he's so good defensively and in terms of being a physical presence, but he just didn't put up the point totals that would justify me spending $4 million on him this season. He's a great physical presence, but I can't pay you $4 million bucks. I can't do it. And then Jake Virtanen's deal is up as well. He put up 8 points in 15 games with us once we acquired him from Vancouver. He wants $4 million a year. That's not happening. Jared McCann, 39 points this year in 77 games. He wants $4 million. I can't do it. At least in theory, we can't do it. Do we really want to pay $4 million bucks for middle six options? I just don't know about that. Ilya Mikheyev. 21 points in 23 games with us once we acquired him. Only wants $3 million. That's not bad. I think that's much more reasonable reasonable contract as Ilya Mikheyev at $3 million. There are some injury concerns. He's not amazing at anything, but he is well-rounded enough to be good pretty much anywhere in the lineup we need him to be. I think $3 million at Ilya Mikheyev, for Ilya Mikheyev is pretty nice. And that is the last deal that we have to worry. Actually, Gurionov, 11 points in 16 games, wants $3 million. Whew, it is tough to say where to go with this. I forget what the last day is that I have to renegotiate with players here, but free agency is coming right up here. And obviously the draft is on the 6th. It might be in our best interest to just let these guys go. As much as I hate to say that, and as much as it would kind of suck to let go of so many people, we do have some big contracts signed already that we need to look to move out. Trading is an option right now. I do wonder. We go over to contracts. The big question right now is Andrei Vasilevskiy at $9.5 million. I have to be honest. I'm not against the idea of trading Andrei Vasilevskiy. We were pretty much able to fleece Tampa for him. He posted a .916 this year. He was really good. But $9.5 million to a goaltender, as any Habs fan can tell you, is a horrible goddamn idea. Goodness gracious. Oh boy, give me 1 second here, by the way. So, I guess the big question here is, if I were to shop Vasilevskiy, what would the AI offers be? Boston would give us Kasha in a second. Obviously, I could get more if I don't shop him. Tanner Pearson in a second. Tyson Barrie. Brendan Lemieux in a second. All right, so yeah, we have to move him on our own. Although Elias Lindholm in a third, decent option. Lindholm put up 76 points, 45 goals, and won the Selke. Sending Vasi to the Kings, we'd have to deal with them for a while, though. Tony DeAngelo, no thank you. Sam Reinhart in a second. 57 points this year for Reinhart. Josh Bailey. Washington's first round pick. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in a third. Nuge put up 54 points. Brandon Saad in a first. Kevin LeBanc in a first. Mikhail Sergachev and a second. To send him back to Tampa Bay. Mikhail Sergachev and a second. I am tempted. Sasha Barkov. Okay. Are you out of contract? Because holy shit. Okay, he is out of contract right now. It'd be a big risk. Because we don't know how much money he'd be asking for. We don't know how much money he'd be asking for. Oof. Trade Vassy to try and re-sign Barkov. It's the big question of how much Barkov would want. He's unreal. He is unreal. A 20 as a back-checking forward or as a two-way forward. Minnesota. Ooh, Minnesota offering Marco Rossi. And a second. Ooh. Okay, so chat, I think we got 3 deals here. If we were to move Vasilevskiy, again, I love Vassy. He's 27. He's a god in this game. But $9.5 million to a goaltender. I just don't think we want to do that. I just don't think we want to do that. So that's the first big question is, are we moving Vassy? And then if we are, it's down to one of these final 3 offers. Mikhail Sergachev is 3-star with a 4-star potential, coming off of a 37-point season. Obviously, Barkov is the real deal. 26 years old, 4.5-star. And then Marco Rossi is 3-star with a 4.5-star potential. Had a 45-point rookie year with the Wild. And a 2nd rounder. What about Mikhail Sergachev here, contract-wise? Sergachev is under contract next season. The Barkov deal is probably the best. I think it comes down, if we're trading Vasilevskiy, it's for Sasha Barkov, and we hope to God he's not asking for too much. Or we play for the future. We take Marco Rossi, who's an incredible prospect, get a 2nd rounder as well, and we drop $9.5 million in Vassy. Honestly, I think that Minnesota Wild deal is our best, and chat seems to agree. I think we have to go with Rossi. I can try to rework it too to get a little bit more back. Let's discuss this trade with them. So Minnesota's players right now in goal, they do have Hunter Jones, Elvis Merzlikins, Capo Kakkonen, Derek Barabo, Peter Tome, and Joe Verbenek. So I mean, getting Hunter Jones would be nice, but getting Rossi would be even better because we do still have Ottinger. I don't know if there's anyone else we'd rather go for. They also have like the likes of First Off and Boldy. By the way, Chris Drury is the GM with this team. For you. And Eagle, thank you for the follow, by the way. If we were to look here, hypothetically, they don't want to move Hunter Jones. Confirm they don't want to move Hunter Jones. Marco Rossi. Apparently they... Oh, wow, so if I re-offer them this deal, they won't even accept it. I don't know if I can get this to go through now. I kind of glitched it. Wait, what? Okay, apparently I glitched the deal somehow. Fuck. Well, everything that we've done so far is still relevant. Let's just go back to the start screen and hit continue and hope. Fuck. All right, well. Yeah, that glitch is still there. Fuck. Well, we're not getting Marco Rossi now. Unless I can load it directly. Let's see if we can do this to save the Rossi deal. Regardless, we are in agreement that we're going for it. and that we're going to take it if it's available. Again, we didn't do anything. It doesn't change the fact that, like, everything that we've talked about, you know, it doesn't change that fact. That it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, I just wasted 15 minutes, so. Spending I can, but you have to wait until I hit July 1st, which is literally the next day. It's taking a little bit longer to load than I thought, because it's just like, hey, you feel like being anxious? Let's be anxious really quickly. Whew. Alright. Are we good? Fuck. Okay, the Rossi deal's off the table. It auto-saved. The Rossi deal is off the table. Fuck. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Let me... Yep, Furman, that was the idea. Again, I like Vasilevskiy. I just don't think... Well, the problem is, though, I don't get an immediate, an immediate response. Ah, okay. We could force trade it, and I would because they said they'd accept this. So the deal, I'm not going to edit it now at this point, was Andrei Vasilevskiy for Marco Rossi in a second, and we're going to take it. And hopefully that doesn't fuck anything up. We're going to drop the $9.5 million worth of salary from Andrei Vasilevskiy, who's great. But again, man, $9 million bucks. Just can't do that with a goaltender. And we get back 3-star, 4.5-star potential Marco Rossi, and a second-round pick from Minnesota. So a huge deal there. I like Ryan McDonough a lot. I don't know if we want to pay him $6 million. Like, we have to decide. Right now, our goalie, in theory, would be Ottinger. Which obviously won't be the case. We're going to have a lot of money to play with in the offseason. We have to decide how much we want to tear this team down now after that failure. How much do we tear this team down after that failure? That's the big question. Because we could tear this team down big time and end up with a shit ton of assets. But also, I mean, we were a decent little team. We were a decent little team this year. Well, put it this way. We know we're not bringing back Letang. But I can't shop him. I'm going to see... actually, I wouldn't even be able to trade him here necessarily, would I? Because they have to wait to respond to it. It's not letting me shop any other players here. Fuck. The big thing right now is, do we want to re-sign anybody? The one player to look at would be Morgan Riley. I like Letty, but for $6-7 million, I don't know. I like Riley, but for $9 million, I don't know. $6-7 million for Ekholm. For 10, I mean, Ilya Mikheyev was the other one that I really do like, actually. We'll submit the offer to Mikheyev. I like Mikheyev for 3 years, $3 million. But that doesn't immediately go through. So we're gonna have to we're gonna have to wait for the next day anyway for these contracts to go through. So we are just gonna sim forward a day, and we're gonna see what the hell happens here. I'm kind of scared for what might happen here and what might happen to this team, but we do pull off the massive Andrei Vasilevskiy trade. Which again, man, .916 save percentage for $9 million bucks. He had a really good defense behind him for the majority of the season. I know he didn't get played in the playoffs because Jesus Christ, but of course that was the move that cost Gerard Gallant his job here, but you know, what are you gonna do? So we'll wait it out. Let's wait it out. Big July 1st here. Again, the draft is after the beginning of free agency. Yes, Benny, I gotcha. Who do we trade Vasilevskiy for? Marco Rossi in a second. Well, I mean, Furman, right? That's the question here. It's like, do we still try to make this team a contender in Season 2? Or do we trade the Ryan McDonoughs of the world? Do we trade Cam Atkinson and just tear this team down and build up, you know, an incredible team for 5+ years from now? That's the question. We could go in a couple of different directions, I'd say. We're going to have a lot of news to look at here, too, in the aftermath of this loading up. There we go. Let's see. So in terms of shopping Vasi, of course, those were through. Oh! We got a compliance buyout. Not that we'd want one. Holy shit, so the first crazy option is that we get a compliance buyout if we want it. Jay Beagle retires, Patrice Bergeron retires, and immediately has his number 37 sent to the rafters. Jeff Carter, Cal Clutterbuck, Tyler Ennis, Goligoski, Darren Helm, Nick Holden, David Krejci, James Neal, Zach Parise, Joe Pavelski, David Perron, Eric Stahl, Calvin DeHaan, Tyler Pitlick, Nick Dowd, Leo Komarov, Ryan Carpenter, Danny the Kaiser, Luke Glendening, Noel Achari, and Andrew Cogliano all retire. And indeed, Radulov, Letang, Giordano, these guys are falling off a little bit. Ilya Mikheyev has agreed to that new contract. He'll be here in Seattle for probably the next 3 years. And Marco Rossi. We'll get to wear the number 37. Dustin Brown has apparently retired and might become a coach. We do have Rumble on the team, yes. Corey Crawford's retired. Marc-Andre Fleury is retired. Or has retired, and his number has been retired by the Penguins. Number 29 of the Raptors. Halak, Alex Stalock, Nate Thompson. Bunch of big retirements here. Germany is going to host the 2023 Winter Olympics. Finland will host the World Championship that year. The Czechs will host the World Juniors. Tampa has re-signed Braden Point for about $12 million a year over the next 6 years. Claude Julien has retired as the head coach of the Canadiens. He'll be replaced by former Habs defenseman Francois Bouillon. Francois Bouillon now leading the way. San Jose's owner at 78 years old is looking to sell the team. Tom Stillman looking to sell the Blues. Doug Jarvis, former Bruins assistant, has left the Canucks. Sheil Malak is retired as a scout. A lot of big retirements, a lot of scouts calling it. Jacques Lemaire, Rick Kehoe. Mark Crawford retires as a coach. A lot of big retirements here. Alright, so there we go. It is July 1st. And again, we have some big decisions to make here. First and foremost, the free agent list. Sasha Barkov is on the market. We still have... Well, actually, here we go. We get updated names. Updated names. Let me move the webcam over here. So already signed. Eric Brandstrom in Ottawa. Georgiev stays with the Rangers. Mangiapane. Puljujarvi stays in Tampa. Owen Tippett stays in Florida. Those are all re-signings. So a bunch of crazy re-signings then. Yeah, we do have $43 million in cap space. But obviously, we still have some players. I'm just going to go over here, I guess. I don't fucking know. We still have some players we got to worry about. We only have 19 players under contract. Yeah, because like Morgan Riley's gone. Like basically everybody that we had signed there just left. So we got a lot to worry about. First and foremost, let's look at goaltenders that are available, because obviously we're going to be pretty weak in this position. Ottinger might walk away because I didn't know his deal was up. Fuck. and because I was hoping I had that extra day. So we are going to look to sign Ottinger. Good thing is we have the 43 million. So I'm going to pay him a little bit extra and hope that he signs. If we lose him, whatever, it's fine. I mean, it's not. It would suck, but we could recover. Roddy Ross is also a free agent option in goal. And we are going to look to sign him for the next couple of years. So there we go. We got 2 goalies for the future. We could also sign Drew DeRitter. Decent NCAA goalie, to be honest. And if we were to work out those signings, we technically have 4 under contract because Högberg is still here. Which means... yeah, we probably don't want to look at the Ritter. Braden Holtby might have to come back. How much is Braden Holtby looking at here? 7.26 for 4 years. Braden Holtby will not be coming back. Right. To be honest, Ottinger might be our starter next year if he comes back. Razik wants 4 mil for 3 years. Elvis Proslikins wants 4 mil for 3 years. We might be going pretty young in goal here. Pavel Francouz is the one that knocked us the fuck out of the playoffs. He might be the guy, actually. Cal Peterson posted a 917 last year with the Kings. Timchenko's in the ECHL. 912 for Francouz. Pavel Francouz might be the guy. Just looking at save percentages here amongst goalies. Chris Gibson, Stanley Cup champion. Who was horrible in the regular season. Yeah, it's either Cal Peterson who had that 917. What does Cal want? Yeah, Cal wants absolutely nothing. It's Cal Peterson or Pavel Francouz. 917 in 41 games and 912 in 47 games. And again, Francouz kicked our ass in the playoffs. I'm going to go with the guy who kicked our ass in the playoffs. We'll see if he signs. And you know what? For the hell of it, we might as well go for Cal Peterson too. And just see what happens. So that'll be the goaltending situation. Defensively, I have no idea where Morgan Rielly is. There he is. Okay, never mind. So the biggest defenseman on the market right now is Colton Parayko. Let me look at potential first and foremost. Oh, good. I might also lose Nick Badan because I didn't know his contract was up. Fuck's sake. Let's offer him a little bit more than what he wants. Hopefully we still end up getting these guys back. Fuck's sake. I forgot to check fucking prospect contracts. There's a dumb mistake on my part, so I'll pay the stupid tax for that, and hopefully we get them back. And if not, then hey, it puts us into a more interesting situation, I suppose. Joey Keane was also there with his deal potentially up. Let's look to get his offer back. Timothy Liljegren, Hunter Skinner. We do have some options here. The best defenseman available, though, is, as I mentioned, Colton Parayko. 49 points this past season. He wants $10 million a season and basically $11 million a season with a no-movement clause. We will not be going for Colton Parayko. Chris Letang wants almost $8 million on the year. That is not going to happen. Matthias Ekholm, who we also let go, wants $8 million a year with a no-movement clause. Hate to say it, but again, Letang, Ekholm, they're leaving the team. Ryan Pulock wants only $5 million. 3 years, $5 million. No movement clause. I'd much rather sign Ryan Pulock to that. And then Morgan Rielly wanted like $10 million. All right, so Morgan's dropped his... No, he wanted $9. That's right. So we have to decide if we want to bring back Morgan Riley. He was amazing for us last year, but $9 million on a defenseman? I don't know. I mean, our top pairing next year could be Pollock and Riley. I think at the very least we're going for Ryan Pollock. I like that offer that he's looking for. So we're definitely going to submit our offer into Ryan Pollock. It's just, do we bring back Morgan Riley? Mark Giordano is still injured. Wants $5 million next year. I'm sure we can find a cheaper option who's just as good. Again, Riley put up 76 points last year, $9 million for 6 years. He'd be here basically for the rest of his career. We'll see about Riley. Nick Leddy, someone else who was also good for us, wants under $6 million a year and a no trade. I refuse to sign Tony DeAngelo. He can suck a fat one. Darnell Nurse wants $6 million a year. I think I'd rather sign Leddy for what he's looking for. Rasmus Ristolainen wants under 4. Don't know if I'd trust him defensively. Hampus Lindholm wants $6 million, no movement clause. And then it drops off from there with like PK, Connor Murphy, and Olimata. I think it's worth spending the money on Morgan Riley. That is a huge risk, but I think it's worth spending the money on Morgan Riley. Yeah. Again, hopefully we don't lose some of the other prospects we were looking at, but let's try to bring back Morgan Riley here. Again, I have the offer out for Bodan. Who again, hopefully comes back. Parayko I don't care about. Let's, it's a big money deal. Let's send that offer out to Morgan Riley. I'd rather pay Morgan Riley about 9 than pay Vasilevskiy over 9. And again, I really like the idea of having Nick Leddy on this team too. But he wants that no trade clause, which is a little bit scary. In terms of prospect, let's send an offer out. Timothy Liljegren's an RFA. That doesn't help. Might as well throw an offer out there for Hunter Skinner to see if we can bring this dude in just to get someone worth of value. And then it's down to 2-star from there with like Bryson, Samorukov, Capobianco, Brendan Gooley, Ethan Bear. AJ I probably won't be streaming on Christmas, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, it's like Jacob Bryson. Alright, so Skinner, Ottinger, Badan, Keane, Peterson, Francois, Riley, Pollock. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good on defensemen. Which brings us to the forwards. And I mean, there's no doubt about it, the best situation would be if we're able to sign Sasha Barkov and also have traded Vasilevskiy to get Rossi in the second. That would be amazing. Barkov wants $12 million a season. I mean, he's worth it, but $12 million a season. Habs, you know, the irony of it's amazing, isn't it? Whew. I'd rather pay him $12 million than pay Vasi $9.5 though. He's 26. We'd have Sasha Barkov for his prime years. Let's take a look at potential here really fast. Oop. Most of these guys are already developed. Let me see. Let's go to like age 23. In terms of potential, we do have someone like Jack that we need to get back. The 3-star guys here. I want to bring Emil Bemstrom back. I want to bring Stud back. Actually, Bemstrom I didn't have. He's an RFA. We're definitely going to look at bringing Look at bringing Jack Studnicka back. I really don't want to lose him. Ryan Francis, are you an RFA? No, you're not. Cool. Let's see if we can... Let's see if we can also bring in Ryan Francis. So in terms of 3-star stud, Francis, Bemstrom, Rybinski. Don't think he's going to develop, but he'd be good to bring in. Just to have someone with trade value. And then Graham Clark has to be an RFA. Wow, Graham Clark was let go. Okay. See if we can bring him in too. So we'd be up to 32 contracts if everyone were to sign. Those were the top prospects available. There are still some 2.5 stars. I'm not as worried about them. So now we bump up the years again. And again, Barkov is our top option. We still have about $18 million in cap space. Without sending this offer out to Barkov, we have to. Like, it would be an insane deal. An insane deal. But man, would it be worth it. I mean, the only other options, you have Giroux, but he's 34. Couturier put up 55 points last year. He wants $9 million. If Couturier wants $9.5, I'm willing to pay $12.5 for Barkov. And then Tomas Hertl was amazing last year for the Sharks with 105 points. He wants under 10. I mean, Hertl's 28. He wants under 10 million. Put up 105 points last year. The 4.5s, there's Zibanejad, who wants 8 in a no movement at 29. Boone Jenner, Chevrolet, Forsberg, and McCann. Wow, Jared McCann did improve. What's $5 million bucks? Maybe. We got to go for Sasha Barkov here. We got to at least throw our name into the hat. We will throw our name into the hat for the Barkov sweepstakes. That would leave us with about $6.5 million left. We have Mikheyev, Janssen, Gusev, Rosen, Carlson, Rossi, Patrick, Hedel, Ratu, Palmieri, Atkinson. You bring in Barkov. We have room for one more big winger, I would say. And that's if all of these deals that we're in on were to go through. We have room for one more big forward option here. What's Claude Giroux looking for? 8.1. That's not going to happen. Couturier, Hertl, Zibanejad. What's Boone Jenner looking for? So Boone's looking for 5. Had 46 points last year. A little bit better than McCann. Philip Forsberg. Monster, take it easy. Forsberg wants 8. So that remaining $6 million, we could get 2 decent options or bring back someone like Jared McCann or Boone Jenner. Of course, Radulov's looking for way too much. I loved Johan Larsson, but I can't. Ooh, Johan dropped his price. Yes, please. Yes, please. Johan dropped his asking price by almost $3 million. We are going to look to offer Johan Larsson a little bit under $2 million. That's a huge break for us. If Larsson's willing to sign that. Interesting. Okay, hold on here really quickly. God, just because there's so much. So that would bring us down to 4.5. McCann was looking for 4.9. So McCann's off limits right now. Kadri put up 57 points last year. He wants 6. He's out. I'm aware of Guryanov. He was ours last year. I'm going to check him soon. 52 points for Max Domi. He wants $6 million. Scott Lawton. Scott Lawton wants under 2. It's not that bad. What does Nick Cousins want? Also under 2 for him and his burner account. Radulov. Probably still looking for way too much. Yeah, there's no way we're signing Radulov to that. Burakovsky wants 5.1. What does Virtanen want? Still way too much for Jake. Victor Olofsson also wants way too much. And then, yeah, this Guryanov. who still wants over 5 mil. That's not going to happen. And then Kessel still wants 5 million. I'm the most intrigued by the likes of Cousins and Lawton. And yeah, Tomas Hertl's stats. I mean, again, he had 105 points, 43 goals last year. In terms of his ratings, he's good. I don't really know how he put up that many points, but he did have an incredible season. So. Let's see. Nick Cousins. See if we can sign you, and we'll also send the deal out to potentially get Scott Lawton. So we have a lot of Stokes in the fire right now. Hopefully we don't lose some of the prospects that I would have no one to blame but myself if we were to lose. Let's sim forward a day and see what happens here. Big time free agency moment here. Oh god, yeah, AJ, it's dangerous out there. Carey Price has been bought out by the Montreal Canadiens. Validated. Tuki is validated. The Bruins bought out Charlie Coyle. Again, we didn't have to use our compliance buyout on anyone. Chicago bought out the Seabrook deal. Red Wings bought out Nick Foligno. Trouba bought out by the New York Rangers. Kevin Hayes bought out by the Flyers. Justin Falk bought out by the Blues. The Canucks ditch Tyler Myers. Calgary drops Milan Lucic. Travis Hamonic went back to the Islanders and was cut. Carolina cuts Vinny Trocheck. Eric Johnson dropped by Colorado. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has been dropped by the Coyotes. Marc-Edouard Vlasic dropped by the Sharks. Mike Hoffman, who went back to Ottawa, was bought out. The Ducks have dropped Cam Fowler. Florida drops Sergei Bobrovsky. The Jets get rid of Brian Little. And Columbus gets rid of David Savard. Now we have some big news already. Claude Giroux is off to Colorado. Sean Couturier to Montreal. Mika Zibanejad to Winnipeg. We have some other unfortunate news at the top here. Nick Cousins will hopefully sign. Scott Lawton probably won't. Ryan Pulock has gone to Tampa. And Morgan Riley has left Seattle and gone to San Jose. So we have lost Morgan Riley after one season. Jesus. A $9 million cap hit for the next 6 years. Morgan Riley goes to San Jose. We were a little bit hesitant to pay him that much money. And it backfired. We sent him out the offer, but we end up losing Morgan Riley. Graham Clark will hopefully sign here. Colton Parayko goes to Anaheim. 6-year deal, $65 million in total for Colton Parayko. Achilles, who we've yet to get to the draft. Parayko with a nearly $11 million cap hit for the next 6 years as a member of the Ducks. Harrison Rabinski will hopefully sign. Tomas Hertl goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. 5-year deal worth nearly $50 million. That is a cap hit of about $10 million a season, of course. 10.85 to be exact. Crazy deals here. Pavel Francouz has not signed. Sasha Barkov has gone to the New York Islanders. And this free agent frenzy is not going well for us. Alex Radulov went to Florida, where he got a cap hit worth nearly $6.5 million. And Sasha Barkov goes to the Islanders. $12 million cap hit a season for Barkov. Yeah, I think we're looking towards rebuilding now. For the record, I forgot to show the Seattle expansion, but I will say if you can wait until tomorrow, that first episode will pretty much show how to do it. What do you mean you should have just paid him? I paid Barkov. He decided to go elsewhere. Larson hasn't re-signed yet. Ryan Francis. Cal Peterson. Victor Olofsson goes to Florida. Jake Ottinger has apparently rejected. Boko Amama's been traded to Boston from Mason Langenbrunner. Oscar Lindblom has been traded to Toronto for Travis Dermott. We do get a couple of national team offers from Ukraine, North Korea, and Georgia, the country. I don't want to focus on any of the teams right now, as fun as that could be. So we have $29 million in cap space unless other deals were to go through. We have offers out on Johan Larsson, Pavel Francouz, Henry Rybinski, Graham Clark, Nick Cousins. That's about it. We missed out on every big free agent. Fuck. This has been a disastrous free agency period for us. An absolute disaster. We need to start off by renegotiating with Ottinger. I need to give him a decent amount of money to sign here. I really do. Hopefully he signs here. We still have that offer out for Roddy Ross as well. Still likes my offer so far. And now, of course, Sergei Bobrovsky is here, as is Carey Price, who still wants $6 million a season. You know, Carey Price at $6 million isn't that bad. It's a one-year deal at $6 million for Carey Price. I am very, very tempted. We might go for that. I need to see what other deals are out there, but we might very well go for that. Defensively. Again, I need to re-offer Nick Bedan. He says he prefers my offer so far, which is good. We need to get him back. And then the big names out there still: Letang, Ekholm, Giordano, Leddy, who we dropped previously, OEL, Trouba, some of the other big names that are out there, Cam Fowler again, Hunter Skinner still likes my offer. What about Joey Keane? Still prefers my offer as well. Has Letang come down on his asking price? No. Has Ekholm come down on his price? No. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Ooh, under $5 million a year for OEL. Interesting. Gio wants over 5 for the next 2 years. Nick Leddy. You know, I really like Nick Leddy. He was on our team last year, but OEL could be a cheaper option who does similar things to Nick Leddy. I think I'd rather go for OEL now over Leddy. And then again, D'Angelo can go fuck himself. I didn't like what Darnell was asking for. Trouba's looking for under 5. Cam Fowler's also available. Cam Fowler's looking for under $4 million. I mean, we'd be dumb not to offer Cam Fowler a contract. Yeah, we're gonna offer Cam Fowler a deal here. Just under $4 million for the next 3 years. We are definitely going to offer Cam Fowler a contract. And I think we're going to send a deal out to Oliver Ekman-Larsson as well. I mean, he's a year younger than Leddy. They're very similar players. Let's also offer one Oliver Ekman-Larsson a deal. Yeah, I mean, we are kind of taking advantage of the compliance buyouts from other teams. And then up top, again, we missed out on a lot of the big deals. Still look to make something happen, and let me double check. Graham Clark still prefers my offer. Of course, it was Francis as well. Again, Stud still prefers my offer as well. Look at ability. How much was Boone Jenner looking for? $5 million for Jenner. Forsberg is looking for 8 and no movements. That's just not going to happen. And then we could look to get Jared McCann back as well, who we had last season. It's a little bit expensive for a middle 6 option, but it could work out. Not to just base it off of the star ratings, but Of course, we could look at something like Charlie Coyle, who's apparently down to 2.5 star. I wonder how much he's looking for after getting bought out. Still 4.5. Brian Rust is there. 51-point season last year. Still wants $5 million at 2.5. Okay. First and foremost, we are going to send an offer to one Carey Price. See if he wants to be our goaltender this season after being bought out by Montreal. We're going to go back over to the forward group. I want to double check with Johan Larsson, who still prefers my offer. Kevin Hayes, after getting bought out, still wants about $5 million. Vinny Trocheck, after getting bought out, still wants about $5 million. Scott Lawton wants a little bit over 2. To be honest, we're going to re-offer him a deal. Domi wants almost 7, so that's not going to happen. Nick Cousins still prefers my offer. Kadri was looking for a little bit too much. That leaves me with $11 million. I am going to re-offer Jared McCann a deal. We traded Andre Vasilevskiy to Minnesota for Marco Rossi in a second. I didn't want to pay $9.5 million to a goalie. Hayes is looking for a bit too much. Honestly, we're going to send a deal out to Jared McCann to try and hold on to him. Monk, thank you for the follow. And I'm also going to send out a deal to Boone Jenner. And we'll see if that goes through. It would bring us down to just under $2 million in cap space if every deal were to go through, as unlikely as that is. Scott Lawton's top offer right now is from the Islanders. To be honest, I want to meet the demand there. And I'm willing to pay him a little bit more to hold on to him. 2.1 for Lawton's okay. Okay. Now the big question is, with what happens in the next few days here, that'll determine what we do at the draft and whether or not we fire sell it. Because again, we just missed out on getting Riley back. We missed out on Barkov. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has immediately signed with the Seattle Kraken, which is great news. Apparition, thank you for the 10 months off the Prime, by the way. So OEL has immediately signed with the Kraken. Bought out by the Arizona Coyotes. We take advantage and pick up Oliver Ekman-Larsson to replace Nick Leddy, a little bit cheaper. Chris Letang has gone to Detroit. Carey Price has signed in Seattle. As Matthias Ekholm goes to Philadelphia instead. I imagine it's a big-time deal. Yeah, almost $8 million cap hit for Ekholm. We picked him up in the expansion draft. That's way too expensive. Nick Cousins is being a bit of a nerd. Domi goes to the Blues. Boone Jenner signs in Seattle. Scott Lawton went to the Caps. Nurse to the Sens. Risto to the Lightning. Philip Forsberg to the Bruins. Jared McCann comes back. Joey Keane has not come back yet. Looks like he might be going to Columbus. We're having trouble with Badan and Ottinger. Cam Fowler, though, has signed as well. So we just picked up quite a few guys on those big money deals. So I'm pretty happy about that. Let's take a look here. But again, like Scott Lawton's off the board. Obey Kubel. Radulov goes to Florida. Okay. So we need to up the offer here for Nick Cousins, apparently. I'm willing to do. Still a pretty good bargain deal for us. And from there, we're showing up with about $5 million left, but we just don't know. Ottinger. To be honest, I'm just going to offer you even more money. We need to make sure we get you back. I never should have let you slip. So we'll hope Ottinger signs. I need to send an offer out again to Nick Badan and offer him a little bit more money. And then yes, indeed, we still need to look for a coach again. Roddy Ross still prefers my offer. He hasn't gotten back to us yet. So that's the big thing, is Badan and Ottinger. Joey Keane as well. All right, let's look at the coaching options here, to be honest. Let's go to staff. So we have still yet to name our new head coach after firing Gerard Gallant. And at this stage, John Cooper's available, John Tortorella, Gerard Gallant, Peter Laviolette. Brian Burke would also be available as the GM. I don't think we want to name a head coach just yet. Let's wait it out. Because we need to know if we're going to try to be a competitive team or if we're going to blow it up. Because if we're going to try to be a competitive team, you know, you bring in someone like John Tortorella maybe, or Peter Laviolette. But if we're going to try to build it up, someone like John Cooper would make a lot of sense because he's pretty damn good with prospects. So we're going to wait to name a head coach. Time to sell it. What's going on? So let's sim another day. And hope that we get some more of these players here. But it's still going to be a kind of a tough call to say how this one's going to go down after missing out on Barkov. Braden Holtby goes to Chicago. Kadri to the Blues. Nick Cousins picked Nashville over us. We do bring back Johan Larsson. We signed Cal Peterson. Nick Bedan still hasn't committed, but we have signed Hunter Skinner off the free agent list. So we get a couple of new players yet again. Roster turnover still a bit ridiculous. Again, right now, Carey Price, Hogberg, Peterson in goal. Defense is OEL, Fowler, McDonough, Addison. Hopefully we add a few more. We're looking okay. We're looking okay, but obviously we didn't get the big name that I wanted in either keeping Morgan Riley or signing Sasha Barkov. A couple of the dudes being signed, some more minor trades. A lot of prospects signing with their team. Down here in the corner. A lot of prospects signing with their teams here. Time to sell it, fair enough. Very much appreciated. So Ottinger we still have the top offer for. The Dan we still have the top offer for. We got $7 million. I think Roddy Ross we still have the top option. $7 million. We could throw out a shout to Nick Leddy here. We could. Let's meet the demand on Joey Keane. He wants a higher minor league salary. I can't offer him any more. Oh boy, let's not much I can do for one Joey Keane here at this point. We're probably going to lose him. I don't know what we're going to be able to do. Nick as well. What's going on? Let's wait it out. We still got to wait it out here for some of these players. As much as it sucks, we need an answer. Mark Giordano goes to Carolina. And we have gotten some bad news in the meantime. As unfortunate as that is. So Gio goes to Carolina. Rybinski signs. Ryan Francis signs. Burakovsky to Minnesota. Hampus Lindholm to the Ducks. Or to the Stars, excuse me. Virtanen to the Panthers. So, of course, we knew we were going to lose Virtanen. We did re-sign Jack Studnicka. However, we have lost Joey Keane and Nick Bedan. Again, losing Nick Bedan that was just a dumb mistake on my part. I'm not going to cheat to get him back. I just fucked up. I forgot to check prospects. So Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been traded to Philadelphia. So it's you know, at the end of the day, it's a decent little trade-off. I don't hate how that went down. It's fine. We get to keep some people we probably shouldn't have had in the first place, and we lose others. It's okay. I mean, it sucks. I'm not overly happy about it, but shit, what are you gonna do? The big news now is just we're waiting for Ottinger, we're waiting for Ross, we're waiting for Clark. We got about $9 million to spend. Could still try to bring back Nick Leddy. Honestly, yeah, trying to bring back Nick Leddy now is a pretty good play. Wants that no trade, which is risky, but I really did like the way he played last year. Let's offer him that deal. Pretty big risk, though. So we are getting ready for the lottery, the drafts. Nick Leddy immediately signed with us. Graham Clark is signed. Pavel Francouz signs, and Roddy Ross signs as well. So we are looking okay here. Now the goalie situation is Price, Högberg, Peterson, Francouz, Ross, and the Chinese national Hao Ren-Hu. So we got a couple of options there. The defense looks better now with OEL, Fowler, McDonough, Leddy. Addison will make the roster. I don't know who the sixth guy is going to be. And now we have that little bit of extra forward depth as well. We're a bit weak on the right-hand side. But obviously I have prospects to sign. We have some moves to make. We have about $3 million in cap space, so there's really nobody else we're aiming to get here aside from Ottinger, who is making us wait. And obviously, honestly, Drew DeRitter, I want to sign as well. Time to Selly dropping that sub. You'd love to see it. Thank you for that, man. Very much appreciated. Nick, that is the goal. Ask away. I will answer any question. Hockey related. If I can help someone get into it, I will answer any questions, so ask away. Let's go to the lottery results here, though. So the order, obviously Arizona has the top odds. Carolina with the bottom. Nico, what's up, man? Let's see what happens here. So pick number 16 does go to Carolina. Pittsburgh should be at 15, and they are. Detroit at 14, correct. Winnipeg at 13, correct. Nashville stays at 12. Montreal stays at 11. Ottawa stays at 10, so no movement there so far. Vancouver has moved up. The Vancouver Canucks have moved up. At 8, we see Columbus. At 7, we see Minnesota. At 6, Edmonton has also moved up. Edmonton and Vancouver have moved up. At 5, we see Calgary. At 4, we see Arizona. So Arizona has fallen from 1st to 4th. The top 3 will be either Florida, Edmonton, or Vancouver. I mean, in that particular order. Who will the number 1 pick go to? Pick number 3 goes to the Florida Panthers. Edmonton and Vancouver move from 5 and 9 respectively into the top 2. The number 1 overall pick belongs to the Vancouver Canucks. From 9 to 1, Vancouver moves up to take the number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. Hell of an offseason for the Canucks here. Goddamn. Again, Nick Leddy signed. We have the draft order. Drew DeRitter hasn't signed with us yet. We will have the 17th pick in the first round and the 49th in the second. Brian Russ goes to Buffalo. Gurionov leaves us and goes to the Devils. Indeed, Smooth. The Ducks won the cup as the 8th seed. With that, chat, big moment here. We go to the draft. And the big decision is whether or not we try to stay competitive or look to sell off some pieces. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, again, the loss of someone like Nick Badan doesn't help. We did spend some money. Achilles, they just have to do it in that setup. Just trying to see here. So say we have a 1-2 of Carlson Rossi. Honestly, cashing out on Nolan Patrick isn't the worst idea. Although we could be a 4th line center or a 3rd line center with Larson on the 4th line. Right hand side obviously needs to be improved. Stud can play over there. Patrick can play over there. It's not the worst. It's definitely not the best either. Let's see how the draft goes. I still haven't decided just what exactly we're going to look to do. The top players in this draft are Shane Wright and Noah Ostlund. We're not going to be able to get a hold of. We're just not going to have the assets. This is a weaker draft at the top. We're not really going to have the assets to trade up. But knowing that this is a weaker draft, is that the right time to sell if all we're going to be able to do is get a couple of 3-star prospects? I think the quality of this draft just made our choice for us here. I don't think we're going to sell. Because there's not enough to sell to get one of the top 6 players. I mean, yeah, we'd have to sell for picks next year. Just in theory. I can't shop Ryan McDonough during the draft. I hate that. I'd have to actively go out and try to find these trades, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Honestly, I don't think we don't have to sell right now. All right, number 1 overall pick belongs to the Vancouver Canucks, and they do take Shane Wright first overall. So the Canucks win the Shane Wright sweepstakes. Very well-rounded out of the gates. A 17 rating as a sniper, as a dangler. Damn good player. We did indeed fire Gerard Gallant. Pick number 2. Out. Wow, the Edmonton Oilers go off the board. They don't take Ostlund. They take Alexander Legkov from Novosibirsk. 31 points in 46 VHL games this past season. Highest rating is as a 13, more of a playmaker. Legkov was projected to go 4th to Arizona. In fairness, the mock draft had Matthew Savoy going 1st as opposed to Shane Wright. So a big decision there by Edmonton. Already. We have Florida at 3. They take Matthew Savoy, so that could be a huge win there for the Florida Panthers. Time to sell, probably, yeah. Eventually. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. Let's see. 4th overall, Pano Femis to Arizona. Pano Femis. Okay. Mock draft had him. Oh boy, mock draft had him at 15th. So Arizona with an interesting reach there. A very interesting reach. Richard Ed. 5th overall, Calgary takes Noah Ostlund. That could be the steal of the draft. We don't have the assets to trade up to get Ostlund. It is very tough to trade up into the top 5. So Ostlund goes 5th overall. We just weren't going to be able to pull that off. That's a huge win for Calgary. We might be able to snag one of these 3. If not, one of these 2 as well. Pick number 6, Brad Lambert goes to the Chicago Blackhawks. Pick number 7, Quinn Finley off the board to Minnesota. So Elias Salomonson would be great. Columbus is on the board. I just don't think we have the assets to trade up to 9th. I just don't think we have it. So our target's going to be either Ivan Miroshnichenko or Max Nemesnikov. Even though I'd love Salmonson to replace the outgoing Badan. Yeah, I just don't see it happening here. Pick number 8, Elias Salmonson, or Solomonson, I should say, goes to Columbus. Pick number 9, Seamus Casey to the Washington Capitals. Pick number 10, Lane Hudson to Ottawa. Again, we're on the board at 17th. Might have a shot at one of these 5 without having to trade up. Pick number 11, Andrew LeBlanc goes to Montreal. It's great news for us. Again, without having to trade up and give up assets here. Pick number 12 is Miroshnichenko to Nashville. And I'm going to risk it to potentially miss out on the Nemesnikov. Maybe not, because of how good he is. Let's, I mean, I can't guarantee Winnipeg's going to take him, though. Let's go talk to Winnipeg. Oh, Winnipeg, do you have any interest in trading that first rounder without me having to give up the first rounder? We did just sign Roddy Ross. Not that I want to flip him immediately, but we could. I did sign a couple of guys I could look to flip. Interesting. Warrior dropping the gifted. I'd love to see it. If I were to give up Roddy Ross is listed as a well-balanced offer. I think we can pull this off. Thank you for the Christmas wish, one Fire Rammer NHL. What a name. What a name. Rybinski is 21, as is Skinner. What if I were to give up? Hutsko's 23. Still not enough. If we were to also give up Jordan Osterley, doesn't want to move. Mikko Lehtinen. I'm just throwing anything at the wall here that I can to try and get this to go through. And it's not going to. Come on, there's got to be a way. Hunter Skinner. Roddy Ross and Hunter Skinner, two guys that we just signed. And a 6th and a 7th. I mean, this would be fleecing Winnipeg here because we wouldn't be giving up our first rounder. But Roddy Ross, Hunter Skinner, a 6th and a 7th for the first round pick from Winnipeg. We got a done deal. Let's do it. Huge move there to trade up. We get the next pick. And with this pick, 13th overall, we are going to draft the Russian Max Nemesnikov, coming off of an 81-point season with Sarnia in 60 games, 108 penalty minutes. So, he's got some feistiness to him. 14 rating as an agitator, 18 already as a back, checking forward, and 19 as a two-way forward. He can step into the lineup immediately. Nothing about his personality stands out. Plays a similar style game to Nolan Patrick. Equivalent to a third liner in the league in terms of talent. Doesn't have the best intangibles. His durability could be a question. Good playmaker, eager to learn, handle a lot of playing time. Good skating ability. Someone skilled Andy Andreoff. Potential might be enough to pass William Karlsson's level. Potential to be an outstanding player. We're going to take him. We're going to take him. Max Nemesnikov is our guy. 13th overall. Boom. And again, now we still have the 17th pick in this draft as well. And honestly, we'd probably want to end up with Michael Mastrodomenico. I don't hate the idea of ending up with Tristan Luneau. There's Nazar, Rucker McGroarty, whose name I'm saying wrong. There's Donovan. There are some 3-star prospects who are decent. As long as we end up with one of these 3, we're good. There's, I mean, obviously a chain of quality there. Let's hope that Mastrodomenico makes it. The mock draft had him at 26th, so he might fall. Richard Head, can anybody? Except for Charlie Adam. 13th overall, Rucker McGroarty. Rucker McGroarty. Indeed, he was Achilles. Goes to the Detroit Red Wings, played for Notre Dame. 15th, and we are awaiting at pick number 17. 15th, Pittsburgh takes Charlie Golob from the Erie Otters. So one more pick. We are guaranteed to end up with either Michael Mastrodomenico or Spencer Sova from the Erie Otters. Who will it be? And it will be Mastrodomenico, as Carolina takes Michael Karvelis. So not bad. We get who we wanted. 18-year-old defenseman from the Quebec Junior B, Michael Mastrodomenico, who put up 60 points in 44 games. Don't know where he's going to be playing next year. Already projected to be like a 20 in terms of... Like, he's projected to be very damn good. Very damn good. What's the scouting report say? Fairly normal personality. Bottom pair defenseman in his current league. Game resembles Scott Harrington a little bit. All right, strengths. Good playmaking ability, great stamina, strong, great skater. Not much of a goal scorer, but that's fine. Apparently he's injury prone. Be a fringe player. Could turn into Matthias Ekholm. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Scout suggestions has Mastro Domenico as the #1 option for us. I don't hate it. He's our guy. He's definitely our guy. Michael Mastro Domenico, welcome to Seattle. We had him and Max Nemesnikov. Pretty damn good draft here without even having to blow it up. Our next pick is 38th overall. See what happens in that time. Number 18, Jack Devine to the LA Kings. Bryce McConnell-Barker to the Islanders at 19th from the Sioux Greyhounds. Number 20, Tristan Luneau to the Dallas Stars. 21, Frank Nazar goes to Colorado. 22, Gavin Hayes to the Boston Bruins. 23, Zachary Lavoie. Might be Lajoie, perhaps, to the New York Rangers. 24, Lucas Ross to the New Jersey Devils. 25, Justin Cote to the Tampa Bay Lightning. 26, Ty Nelson goes to St. Louis. Spencer Sova is still there. I want him. When did the mock draft have Sova getting drafted? 30th. I think if we can trade up here to also get Spencer Sova from San Jose, we can do that. So let's go talk to the Sharks and see if there is a chance to get our 3rd draft pick of the round. Talking to San Jose. Do we have what it takes? Not going to give up Kalen Addison. Don't really want to give up Clark or Rybinski either after just signing them. It was tough to give up Roddy Ross, but it was worth it. Catcher, we haven't exactly committed to rebuilding yet or not, is the problem. A couple of different ways this team could go, if we're being honest. I don't want to get rid of Ty Jackson. What about Robin Fanboy.
The man was a fanboy.
Warrior, drop it and gift it. You'll love to see it, Warrior. Thank you. Because we have that extra Minnesota 2nd, thanks to the Vasilevskiy trade. If we trade a 2-star prospect, it's not the worst, or even a non-prospect. What about Logan Hutsko? Slepyshev? What if I give up Hogberg? Yeah, they just have no interest in any of this. I'm not going to be able to do it. We really don't have the assets right now. All right, let's just hope he stays on the board. Next up, 27, William Yee. The Kelowna Rockets goes to San Jose. So they could have taken him as the defenseman. They didn't. 28, Zach Lassard to Toronto. 29, Simon Nemec to the Vegas Golden Knights. 30th, Caleb Smith to the Buffalo Sabres. 31st is Spencer Sova. He goes to Philly. God damn it. 32nd is Ryan Healy to your Stanley Cup champion Anaheim Ducks. So we still have a lot of people on the board here that I'm interested in heading into this next round. Top 4, Nathan Morin, Leighton Carruthers, Paul Ludwinski, and Jorian Donovan, which is a hell of a name. So Hugo Hovland, #1 pick of the 2nd round, goes to Arizona. And again, we are picking 38th. So 34 is Jorian Donovan to Florida. 35th, Aiden Castle to Calgary. 36, Chicago takes Justin Dezoite, perhaps. And 37th, Nathan Morin goes to Edmonton. So we are looking at either Carruthers or Ludwinski, based off of their overall and their potential. Both are ACs in terms of the scouting. Size advantage for Carruthers. But at 51 points in 56 games with the Sea Dogs last year. Let's take a look here. Projects to be a pretty good two-way forward or back-checking forward. Very well-rounded. Richard Head, check my pinned tweet on the Twitters. Carruthers doesn't accept change well. Likely doesn't have skills to play higher than fourth line right now, which is fine. Richard Head living up to his namesake. Strongest part of his game is defensive play. Pretty good skating, decent on ice vision, above average stamina. Doesn't play overly physical, though. Probably be similar to Cam Atkinson eventually, huh? Okay. Decent comparison. For one, actually, what was the award there for Carruthers? Won the gold medal at the Under-18 World Juniors with Canada. And has a couple silver medals as well at the Under-17 Hockey Challenge and the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. The other option is Paul Ludwinski. 72 points in 54 games with Kingston. That's very impressive. Just double check that it was Ludwinski. And indeed it is. So a very impressive junior point total here with Ludwinski. Also projected to be a pretty good defensive forward. He brought home the same thing in terms of the gold medals. Unless I accidentally looked at Ludwinski before. Scouting-wise, normal personality, good defensive play, good endurance, decent vision, good skating. Doesn't play overly physical. Cam Atkinson. Did I look at Ludwinski first? I did. Whoops. Shows you how tired I'm getting. So what about Leighton Carruthers then? Did they have like the same? They have like the same report. They have like the same report. I mean, I gotta be honest, I like the point total from Ludwinski a little bit more. He did very well, 72 points with Kingston. Shit ton of penalty minutes. Mock draft has him at 35th. He was 5th overall first round pick in the OHL priority draft. Carruthers was 3rd in that same year within the QMJHL, projected to be 42nd. So Ludwinski is favored to go higher in this draft. Scout suggestions has someone like Simon Forsmark going way ahead. But I gotta be honest here. I like the look of Ludwinski. Good AHL or a good OHL season, I should say. Pretty similar to Carruthers. A little bit better defensively already. Let's go for Paul Ludwinski here. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Go ahead and make that pick. And we will sim again until our next pick, 49th overall. Don't really plan on trading up, so pick until human. So to recap. Carruthers went to Washington 2 picks later. Lastarza, Fleming, Leonard, Morden, Ainsby, Cameron Van Sickle, great name. Michael Bushinger, and Lucas Clem. So here, out of the 3 stars, a bunch of dudes who are projected to go 1 star. Joachim Kamel is here, which is interesting. Simon Forsmark also there as well. Scout suggestion has Forsmark at the top. Safe pick would apparently be Gruder, and a risky pick would be the goaltender and Ivanov. So let's look at these 3 then. So we have Simon Forsmark. 17 points in 30 games in this past season. Ratings could turn into a pretty good 2-way defenseman. Playing in France right now, all places. Scouting wise, good playmaking ability, good workhorse, stronger, decent on ice vision, doesn't score much. Saying he could turn into like Mark Giordano. Like what Mark Giordano is at the back half of his career, which is still pretty good. And then we have Noah Gruter, Swiss option, 46 points in 33 games, the under 20 league. Not a big fan of these future readings, though. Like a decent counterattacker, but not too much there. Known for being loyal. Could turn into like the current skill level of Cam Atkinson. I'm not as sold. And then the risky pick, top option is Sergei Ivanov. Or Ivanov, perhaps. Russian lower division this season. Has potential to exceed Marcus Högberg's skill level. So it could be better than Marcus Högberg. Apparently is rather injury prone. Well, out of those three, Nick, take it easy, by the way. Oh, God. Richard Head, you or something else. I think, honestly, we'll take the safe bet. I think we'll go for Forsmark here. Because we really could use another defenseman. So I'm going to trust our scouts on this one. They do have incredible abilities. So we're going to take one Simon Forsmark with the pick. Our next pick, probably going to be way down the road. Oh, yeah. Barely any draft picks in this draft, but that's okay. We made the right call. Actually, we're done. That was it for the draft. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we'll take a look again. We traded up to get a decent extra first-round pick for Roddy Ross, Hunter Skinner. 6th and a 7th. So let's take a look here. Again, it was Wright, Legkoff, and Savoy, the top three. The Kings projected to have the best draft, led by Divine. The Blues and Avalanche also in the top three. The worst drafts listed, Detroit, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. So, hey, yet again, not in the top three, but not in the bottom three either. Could certainly be worse. Again, we still have some cards on the table here in free agency. Waiting to see what the hell happens with Ottinger, who has signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, a bit of a tragic offseason. We lose Ottinger, we lose Badan. Don't really have a goalie for the future now. Fuck. It's my mistake. Boy, how I feel like restarting. Or not restarting, but doing a little force trade there, but I won't. It was our mistake, it's fair. Honestly, it comes out in the wash. We get something for Vasilevskiy, who we never should have had, and then I lose some prospects, which is fine. Like I said, it all kind of comes out in the wash. Frank, we haven't seen Season 2. We just got done. We are not even done with the offseason, really. So looking here, we have $4 million in cap space. We do have some roster spots to fill out. A lot of these guys are looking for way too much money. So we're not going to look to do anything there. So I'm pretty happy with where this team is right now. But we do have to make that call of who plays and where. I think goalie-wise, we're fine. We'll see out of Högberg, Peterson, and Francouz. We'll see if Högberg can earn that spot. OEL, Fowler, McDonough, Leddy, Addison. We still need a sixth defenseman. Esterley can do the job with Lettinen as a depth option. That's not the worst thing in the world. And forward-wise, we're still looking at having to sign Rosen. Nemesnikov will be signed immediately. Ratu will probably be signed. Bordeleau, there's a good chance we're going to sign him as well. We still have that decision. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with how this is. Yeah, we lost some guys that I wish we didn't lose, but we also have someone like Marco Rossi who we never should have had. So it's a level playing field, but we do have to make that call if we're going to go for it this season or just look to fire sell this team. Because honestly, it wouldn't be the worst option in the world to just fire sell this team. We're worse on paper than we were last year, but we're not a bad team by any stretch. The assets are there that we could prove to get better if we needed to. I think it's just a decision of do we want to try to rebuild right now, or do we just wait to see what happens? As we are going to try to sign Isaac Rosen. Max Nemesnikov. Sign Atu Ratu as well to his ELC. We'll move forward a day here. Not how I was hoping this offseason would pan out. Lost Riley, lost Barkov. Connor Bedard is showing up at the top of the next draft. Projected number 1 in that draft. Interesting. Let's take a look now. Still waiting to see if these guys are going to sign. Still have to hire a head coach. We ended up signing Drew DeRitter as well. It's pretty nice. If these two prospects, or a few prospects, could sign, that would be great. Phil Kessel goes to LA. Rosen signs. Rupe Hentz is traded to Vancouver. Don't know why it's still imploring me about the numbers. I literally said I don't want to handle that shit. Well, I mean, Frank, it was a matter of just, you know, going with the situation that was in front of us. And, you know, that situation out of the expansion draft was, holy shit, we're stacked. So that was the right decision, was to immediately just go for it. I mean, we could definitely fire sale here, or fire sell here, and be fine. Astro Domenico is pretty damn close to being NHL caliber too. It's a bit of a tough call. Ratu again signed. Hopefully Bordeleau ends up signing with us. He's low-end NHL caliber. Couple of interesting options here. No emails coming through. There we go. So Thomas Bordeleau signs. Go ahead and give him his number. So again, like, the overall depth chart's looking okay. But I think maybe, just maybe, we could look to fire sell it. Could indeed. Oh, Richard Head, you know it. Frank, take it easy, buddy. To be honest, this is a pretty good stopping point for FHM for tonight. Because we have that big decision to make on whether or not, based now off of what we've seen, how free agency went, so on and so forth, we have that decision to make as to whether or not we just want to fire sell or not. And I am leaning towards potentially going with the fire sale. Regardless, staff-wise, I think we're going to have a younger team, no matter what. Which means head coach, I think I am going to be looking at John Cooper. Because Sutter, Laviolette, we got rid of Gallant. Clearly John Cooper's the guy, unless we wanted to go with, you know, with someone else who was a little bit lower on the totem pole. Like a Travis Green, a Ron Hextall, Bob Bugner. But if you have a top coach available, you take a top coach. And we're going to bring in John Cooper. Or not. How can I not afford him? Dude, like, I'm not paying my staff anything. Oh, yeah, because I'm paying myself $5 million. Whoops. All right, let's end that meme of paying myself $5 million. I don't want to pay myself anything. Whoops. And then free agency-wise, again, we'll go back now that we actually have money. And, yeah, Jeff Bezos, if you would please pay John Cooper some money for the next 4 seasons, that would be great. So there we go. John Cooper is the new head coach of the Seattle Kraken. Gerard Gallant got himself fired by the chat for not for not doing what he should have been doing, is how I'm going to phrase it. Let's be honest. He didn't play Vasilevskiy in the playoffs, so it was time for him to go. I'm tempted to see if we can hire more scouts. We will go to the Hall of Fame induction. We will do that, and then we'll sleep on it. You know, the big decision of what to do with this team and whether or not we're at least going to coast. See if they're worth, you know, start out the season, see how we do. If it's clear that we're bad, blow it up. Or we could just blow it up before we even get to that point and just, you know, completely view the season as a write-off, which it might very well be. And Key, thank you for the follow, by the way. So we'll see what happens here. Let's at least double-check the Hall of Famers. And then I'm going to probably run to the bathroom really quickly and play a little bit of NBA for the first time in a while. Yeah, on the 23rd, we got to get to August 1st for the Hall of Fame inductees. And that'll bring at least the first half, what could be the first half of a tumultuous offseason to a close. Like I said, losing Badan, losing Ottinger sucks, but I'm okay with it because we basically traded them for Marco Rossi. It is what it is. It kind of puts us into a more interesting spot because I don't think Badan really should have been available in the expansion draft anyway. But hey, it is what it is. It be what it do. So we'll see what happens. We do have some unread messages. Vancouver signed Shane Wright. The Coyotes signed Femis. Kayumov's been dealt for a third-round pick that used to be ours. Jorian Donovan signed, and the July scouting update. Actually, our scouts have Matvei Michkov as the #1 pick in the upcoming draft. And indeed, we do have information on, like, basically everybody. So Connor Bedard might not be the top option here. Interesting that Michael Stenberg, showing up as a 3-star right now, might be a decent option. Let's go to August. Let's see who the Hall of Fame inductees are. And then, like I said, tomorrow we will come back and figure out just what exactly we're going to do, what this team's going to be, who's even going to be on this team. You know, I think we shot our shot in Season 1 and failed, so maybe we don't double down like Vegas did. But here we go. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We have available here Boris Mikhailov, Marco Tulola, Jan Latvala, Rod Brindamore, Daniel Alfredson, Doug Mon, Sergei Gonchar, Matthew Schneider, Theo Fleury, Dave Taylor, Brian Propp, Gary Suter, Roman Hammerlick, Keith Tkachuk, Ray Whitney, Pat Verbeek, Teppo Numminen, and Alex Mogilny. And inductee #1 here in the 2020 class is Alexander Mogilny. A 19-year career, over 1,000 games played, 5 different teams, won a Stanley Cup, of course. The Soviet defector. It pays off. Alex Mogilny finds himself in the Hall of Fame. With 1,000 points in under 1,000 games. That is ridiculous. Inductee #2 is Rod Brindamore. 24-year career with almost 700 games played for Carolina. Won the Stanley Cup, of course. 2-time Selke winner. Center from Ottawa has never played an All-Star game. I don't know if that was true. Scored goals for the Canadiens and won a World Championship gold medal. So Alex Mogilny and Rod Brindamore are in. Inductee #3, Daniel Alfredson. 24-year career. 1,178 games played for the Sens and 68 games played for the Detroit Red Wings. He won a Swedish title, the Calder Cup, as well. Not the Calder Cup, but the Calder Trophy. I'm pretty sure he was in an All-Star game. That's really weird how that is, but Olympic gold medal. Everything but a Stanley Cup for Daniel Alfredson. And our last inductee in 2022 is Doug Mons. 26-year career for 5 different teams, mostly for the Bruins and the Blackhawks. Doug Mons played from 1950 to 1974. And he is the last inductee. So Gonchar, Schneider, Theo Fleury, Boris Mikhailov, Roman Hammerlick, Keith Tkachuk, and others making it into the Hall of Fame. Richard Ed, I have no idea. It's a weird one. So again, we'll be back on this tomorrow. And the hope, is Jordan Binnington has been traded 1-for-1 for Michael DiPietro. Interesting situation here for the Canucks. Yeah, a lot of international option changes here too. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we're going to fire sell this team or not. And if we do, how quickly it happens.